Hey, this is Step Amit. Welcome to my Exorcism.io series. In this video, I'll be working through the leap exercise from the Ruby track. So this is appropriately all about leap year. It's leap year right now. It's 2020. We just passed leap day, February 29th, just a few days ago. And okay, so anyway, this exercise here, what we have to do is we're going to be given a year. We have to report whether or not it is a leap year. And then so here's the logic for this. According to the Gregorian calendar. So a leap year is every year that's evenly divisible by 4, except for every year that is evenly divisible by 100, unless that year is also evenly divisible by 400. Okay, it seems a little confusing, but I think we'll be okay. This seems pretty straightforward to me. Let me go ahead and grab this. All right, let's pull the exercise down. Go into the leap directory, and I'll create a new tmux session. Let's remove the leap.rb file so I can start over clean. I'll go ahead and open up the test and take a look at what we got. Okay, so we have a class named year with a class level method leap that takes an integer and returns true or false whether or not it is a leap year, and that looks like the whole thing. Date leap. Implement this yourself instead of using Ruby's implementation. So I didn't actually know this, but I guess Ruby's date library has this leap a method. They don't want us to use this. So let me go ahead and open up my testing pane, copy in the rake file from the directory above. And I'll go ahead and run the test, which will of course fail because there is no leap file yet. So let me go ahead and create that leap.rb, swap my windows. It's going to complain now because we have not implemented a year class yet. So let me go ahead and initialize that class year. And next, it's going to want us to create a class method called leap a. So let me go ahead and do that. Leap a. It's going to complain about the arity of that method because it's passing an argument. So let's go ahead and call this argument year. And let's see, that first test over there, test that it is not, it's going to refute. This is going to pass now because we're returning nil, and nil is falsy. So let me go ahead and uncomment the next test, and this will get us to the point where we can actually implement the functionality. This is going to fail. All right, so I think we can simply go ahead and just start implementing it. Let each test drive it. And I'm going to start with the simplest case. The simplest thing from that piece of logic is that every year that is evenly divisible by 4 is a leap year. So borrowing from something I did in a previous, in a recent one of these videos, the code that I wish that I had was that year, that integer had a divisible by method on it. I know it doesn't, but I'm going to go ahead and pretend that it does. And I want to know if it's divisible by 4. This is going to fail because there's no such thing as divisible by on on year. So let me go ahead and create that. I'm going to open up integer down here and add that method. It's going to complain now again about the arity because we're passing an argument. So let me call this divisor. Yeah, we're returning nil instead of true, which is, of course, falsy. So the way that you determine this is you use the modulo operator. So what I want to know is if self modulo divisor is equal to 0. And that's going to tell me whether or not I am divisible by 4. So that's enough to make this guy pass. Let's look at the next test here. Test that the year 100 is not divisible by 400 common year. Okay, so this is going to be we want this to be false because 2100 is not divisible by 400. So let's see. This is going to fail, and we need to implement the next part there. So, okay, if the year is divisible by 4. Let's think about this for a second. I want to return false. Wait a second, that's not going to work. Let's see, if year divisible by 100, if year is divisible by 100, then we're going to return whether or not year is divisible by 400. Otherwise, year divisible by 4. Does that sound right? No, I got to spell it correctly. Undefined method divisible. Did I not spell this correctly? Divisible by. Oh. Okay, and actually I think this is probably the whole functionality. I think this is gonna, okay, well, gotta actually, all right, that's it. So we've got it. Next, let's take a look and see if there's anything we want to refactor here. If the year is divisible by 100, return year divisible by 400. I think I want to see what this looks like on one line. So we come in, we will return year divisible by 400 if year is divisible by 100. That's our first check. Otherwise, if we return whether or not year is divisible by 4. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there and go ahead and submit this. I might be missing an obvious cleanup or something, but I've actually got a cold, which you may have heard in my voice, and so my brain is a little bit fuzzy. So let me just go ahead and submit this. If you see something, some other refactoring that we could do to clean it up that I missed, please drop a comment below the video. But otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.